It sound good? Shalawam, shalawam. All right, first, I'm going to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. All right. It's Brother Yerami Kazak back out here with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. This will be a walk and talk. You know, and the title is going to be discretion. Not discretion, well, discretion too, but discernment is necessary. Okay? Discernment is necessary. Okay? Now, yeah, as we always break it down, the names, once again, Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the name of the Heavenly Father. That's His true name in the Lashawan Kadash, the Paleo Hebrew. Then you got Bahasham, that's in the name. Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, Sham meaning name. And then Yahawashi, that's the true name of the Son, our King, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So Yahawashi equals He is salvation, all right, He delivers, okay. And, you know, Bahasham once again. And then Rakah, which means spirit, and Kadash, which means holy. So He is in the name, He saves in the name, Spirit, holy, right? And that's the name of the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, which Matthew 28:19 tells us to baptize in. All right, that's a commandment, to baptize in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So if you ain't baptizing in those proper names, then it's not a true baptism. Okay? We baptize via the word. This is the way that you do it, by the washing of the word. As it says in the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter, you know, you got to wash your listeners with the word. Okay? So scriptures, precepts, not what we think, not in our mind, you know, but the word of the Heavenly Father and the words of Yahawashi. Okay? Because that's ultimately what it is, you know. So, a discernment is necessary. Now, this is going to be, you're going into times where what you're seeing AI everywhere, right? You got scams everywhere, okay? Left and right, you know what I'm saying? Is it real? Is it fake? That's what you're seeing. That's what you're witnessing. So you got to be able to discern, be able to divide between the real and the fake, okay? Now let's get a precept on that. Because the devil, which is Esau Edom, which is the so-called YT man, he's coming to what? He's coming to deceive. Okay? So his main goal is to deceive. And through deception, he what? He gives you an MOTB. He gives you a C-hip. All right? That's a chip that they're going to put in your right hand, your left hand, your left leg, whatever. All right? Or the Neuralink, which they want to put in your brain. Okay? So he wants to deceive you into thinking that that's okay. That transhumanism is okay for you to be integrated on a digital system where your vitals is all that data of your body. How the Kennedy dude that's in office right now, he said we want to put a chip in so we can track your vitals 24/7, you know? And he said that's it's convenient. So they're pushing it through convenience, and they're using gradualism, right, to bring in this deceit, this wickedness. So this is Matthew 24:24. For there shall arise false hamashiachs and false prophets. So individuals that's coming in the name, they may come in the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, okay? All right, they may know the names, but something's off about them. You got to check them. You know, they're not coming with the correct doctrine. You know the name, okay. What's the MOTB? You know the name, okay. Right? What's the breakdown Ezekiel 38? Okay, don't tell me that Gog and Magog is gonna rise back up in the kingdom because you're going off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, parallel that to Revelation the 20th chapter. All right? You got to have these understandings to understand what's going on. So if you're not speaking and coming in that spirit of prophecy, then I don't care if you know the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay, you're not in the spirit of prophecy. You know, you're a false Mashiach, you're a false prophet. And you got these individuals, man, that come up and say they are the son of God. Well, where's the chariots, bro? Why is Esau still in power? You know, so it's foolishness and it's folly, and we just shoot that down easy, man. Okay, it's no reason, it's no point to go back and forth with these individuals. They're already, they're running in a maze in their mind, you know? So you discern through all of that. You don't gotta fight every battle. I think this is what's up with Jake. You know, you want to fight every battle. You want to prove to everybody that you right, that you got the truth. You don't got to prove to everybody. Man, let these niggas go, man. You know, we're not out here trying to prove to everybody. Who gonna get it is gonna get it, and they gonna be with it, and they gonna rock with it. And that's to the end. You know, if you gotta beg them up, hey, I'm watching my language. If you gotta beg somebody to do the work, if you gotta beg somebody to be in the truth, you know, let that person go, man. Okay? They're gonna fall to these false Mashiachs and these false prophets. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Okay? So they'll be able to, yeah, they might be able to heal you. Alright? You got these individuals out here. Hey, Elon is putting what's that? The optic. He's putting the optic basically device in people's eyes and allowing the blind to see. So is it divine? Is the Most High dealing with Elon Musk because he can make a blind man see? He's like Jesus. That's what these niggas are saying. No, these are miracles. These not real miracles, but these are lying wonders. Okay, if you can't discern that that's not of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you have a bigger problem, right? You should be able to discern that this individual, he blasphemes the Most High. They asked him before, do you believe in God? And he tiptoed around the question. He's the same as Yuval Harari and Klaus Schwab. These individuals want to play God. Okay? Alright? You should know them by their fruits. What's Elon's fruits? He said by the end of next year, everybody's going to have a robot in their household. You know, for whatever reason. He has a robot wife. Is that of God? Okay, how can you reproduce? You're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. How can you reproduce with a robot? Okay, he's giving you cars that's full of lithium batteries where you get in the car and it's automatic radiation just running through your body. And furthermore, he damn, that's a big ass squirrel. He knocking on Tesla. Okay, this ain't what Tesla envisioned when Tesla tapped into that ancient power source, which is the ether in the air. That's what Tesla was tapping into. You ain't tapping into that. Yo, you don't have clean energy, bro. You pushing it like it's clean energy, but it's not. It's radiation. That's what you're bringing. You're causing cancer. Every Tesla driver right now, if you have a Tesla, you gonna get cancer. You bet that on my bottom dollar. Okay? Especially your kids. Because they more, subjected to it. Alright? And for brothers that in the know, that want to know something, hey, copper, if you can get a copper bottle, drink from copper, that will help fight 5G radiation in general. Okay? Drinking from copper bottles. Alright? So, already you should know not to drink out of plastic. Alright? So, back to it. Elon's fruits is wicked fruits, it's rotten fruits. Okay? That's what we understand. So, he would be considered a false Mashiach, a false prophet. They're calling on Christ. They're talking about, hey, IUIC, I saw this earlier today. IUIC said, we're not Hebrew Israelites, we're American Israelites. You should. Hey, if you can't discern that that's some bullshit, then you deserve to be in that folly, man. If you can't discern these niggas is off, alright. There's no such nationality of an American. It ain't even no language that's American. You know, our language is Hebrew. Our nationality is Israelite. Yasharahla. That's our nation. That's who we come from. Okay. So these guys, they just create new stuff every single day, and just their people just run with it because their people have no discernment. They're yes men, a bunch of yes men. Going into it, discernment also, it's like as a baby, you coming up off that milk, so you're in a position where you're able to discern, is this wrong or right, you know? And like hey, look at your kids. If brothers got kids, you gotta let your kids, sometimes you gotta let your kid fall, you know, to discern not to walk that way again, to discern not to do this, not to you know, stump your toe or whatever. You'll not do it again. They gotta learn those lessons. You can't hold an individual's hand every single day. That's why we not yes men, right? We are taught to trust but verify. So we gotta grow, and we build our discernment skill. Okay, so we can peep off the rip a false prophet, a false Mashiach, because their fruits, they don't speak according to the law and the testimony, Isaiah 8:20, you know. And I hope, hey Shabbai, is my sound good? I hope I'm coming through good. I ain't even asked, I ain't even checked, but you know, I'm just in it. The sound good? Hey, the water. Okay, just windy. Alright, it's all good. Oh, the brother said love from Denmark. Hey, it's some Jakes out in Denmark, most definitely. That's it. That's heavy Edomites, but it's Jakes all over, man. In the UK, especially, you know. So hey, Shalawam. You said you had to go, but it's all good. Shalawam, no. You know, and this gospel is preached all over this world. And what gospel is that? The 100% truth, the doctrine of the apostles. Okay, that's what's flowing across the planet. Not cheese and rice, Jesus Christ. Okay, not nice. Nice means to be foolish. All right, so all these pastors, they're nice, they're foolish, they're simple, they're silly. We're not that. We're gonna give it to you straight. All right, matter of fact, let's go to, you know, well, they always bring it out, Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. We got to do that. It's not nice. All right, it's not always gonna be what you desire. Okay, so you even got to discern. Going back to discernment, you got to discern: is this what you need, or is this what you want? Is this a desire of the flesh, or is this something that, you know, Yahawah's will, right? A lot of stuff comes up to, it's the desire of the flesh. The flesh be telling you to do this. Flesh be telling you to do that. And you got to fight a lot of this stuff, man. So you got to discern what's talking right now. All right? What spirit? Brother say he got the Holy Spirit. He might have a spirit, but he might not be the Holy Spirit. You got to discern these spirits. Right? Let's get that. Try every spirit. And that's what discernment is. You're trying everything. Everything has a spirit. Music, movies, books. Okay? Books are not harmless. Books are harmful. Okay? A lot of these books is pushing false gods, false doctrines. Especially to a kid that's easily influenced. You know, they'll take that and they'll take the Harry Potter and all that, you know, and start believing that, you know, this shit is real, or just believing in that more than Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? That's why the foundation is always Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Yeah, we might have pleasures, we might Dragon Ball, all the, you know, shit like that. Okay? And it all has spiritual aspects. But ultimately, your priority, what you got at the top, is Yahawah Bahasham. So that fear of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to lead to wisdom, and that's going to lead to you discerning everything else better. That's going to lead to you dealing with women the correct way and the proper way, discerning, peeping the red flags, not falling for the traps. You know what I'm saying? So this is 1 John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of power, because many false prophets are going out into the world. What did Yahawashi just tell you in Matthew 24:24? False prophets, false Mashiachs, right? So you're discerning through these spirits, man. You're discerning these individuals. He told you it's many of them out there. It's more of them out there than it is the men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? So the scales is unbalanced. But really it's balanced because the truth is more powerful than the bullshit that they spewing out. Okay? A lie is, I saw that in a movie the other day. A lie lives for a short time, but the truth lasts forever. You know, keep that in the memory banks. A lie lives for a short time, but the truth lasts forever. That's why all this bullshit, all these false gods, where's the Ra, Set, Osiris, Horus? Where's that shit at? All right, where's Baal? Why Baal keep changing his name? This nigga got like 40,000 names, man. Why, nigga, just keep your one name. Yahawah ain't never changed his name. Why Baal got to change his name to this and that and this and that? Okay, why is Ishtar, Astaroth, and now Easter or Aphrodite? All right, why these false gods keep changing their names? Because a lie lives for a short time, but the truth lasts forever. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi ain't never changed their names. Okay, there's no need. All right, Abraham had the name Yahawah Yirah. That's what he named the altar. You know, that bird. Man, it's nice out here. Ain't nobody out here. It's tight, you know. And this is how it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. It's just a side note. We're gonna have like our own little. We're gonna have like our own little just acres of land and shit. I'll just go out there and walk. I'm gonna have servants. Hey, you know. But hey, part of going back to the lesson, discernment is knowing that this is not our kingdom. We're not set up right now. We're not sovereign. We're in a slavery state. We're low. We gotta be humble. You know? So you gotta discern, hey, Esau talking to you crazy, whatever. It is what it is, man. This devil gonna get it. He gonna get it back 100-fold. Keep that. All right, he gonna get it back. You know, that cup gonna be given to him twice. So just keep that in mind. He got 1,000 years of slavery coming to him very soon. You keep that in mind whenever anything going on. All right, we don't act now. That's also with discernment. You know, you gotta peep when to act. We know what Yahawashi said. If this was my kingdom, my servants would fight. We didn't fight then. It wasn't the time to fight. Regardless if the apostles they wanted, it was asking Yahawashi, yo, when you gonna restore us the kingdom now? In Acts 1, and what, that's 7? But it wasn't the time. So then Yahawashi had that discernment. He knew this ain't the time. I got to do my Isaiah 53, right? I got to come as a slave. He had to do that. He had to do what he had to do. So everything that was written of him could be fulfilled. So you got to discern, hey, it's written that we got to suffer persecution. It's written that we got to go through this. It's written that family members got to turn on us. We got to lose friends. All right, all this type of stuff is written. So we discerning and understanding the time, measure the times diligently, right? Second address, we understand that we can measure these times. So you're discerning the times. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. This is a time of mourning. It's a time of sorrow, man. And it's also a time of war. It's a time for people to die. You know, Ecclesiastes 3, and we start at 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So that's all discernment. You're discerning what time, what season that we're in right now. You're not just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay? It's orders, it's laws, commandments, and statutes. The Father is not an author of confusion, right? So it's a time, an appointed time for everything that we go through. Look at the woman. She has a time of the month. She has an appointed time for her body to go through a cleansing cycle. And in that time, you don't supposed to touch her for 7 days, man, while she's bleeding, right? Yahawah set up everything so beautiful. I started looking at the human body yesterday, just looking like, yo, this body crazy. I thought about when my baby was born. When all babies are born, they have the skull. If brothers know, you know, the skull is open. Okay, it's got a little hole right there. Because for the baby to come out of the hole, okay, it's set up like that. You know, it's probably got other purposes. You know, I have to look into it. But I know the Most High created it to be like that. And then over time, it heals up. You know, He created the body down to that key, that level, bro. This, and you talking about some big bang. Hey, y'all some big dummies. That right there is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is so precise. That's why, man, who do they don't know who they fucking with, man. So he's extremely precise. He discerned that when the baby come out of the canal, right, it needs, you know, the umbilical cord, the way that it feeds, the way that so the baby don't take in shit and all of that. You know, everything that the human body right there. If y'all talking about where's the evidence of the human body, all right? And then you got archaeological evidence. We can show you the chariots and the Red Sea. We can show you Lot's wife. You could go over there. You can see the walls of Jericho, the city of Jericho, the ruins. Okay, you can see all this type of stuff. You got Jerusalem. You got all that there. But a fool don't believe shit. And let them be like that. You know? Because they can't discern that the Most High did this. But when He brings this place down, everybody on this planet is going to know Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi did this. Let's go to Revelations 1. All right. And I'll start at, we'll start at the top, man. The revelations of Yahawashi HaMashiach, which Yahawah gave unto Him to show unto His servants things which must shortly come to pass, and He sent and signified it by His angel unto His servant John. So who can be a servant of the Most High? You can go to Romans 9 and 3, 4. All right. The service of Yahawah is to us, to the Israelites. Okay. Amos 3 and 7. Okay. And you can start at the top. Amos 3 and 1. Okay. We are those servants, man. So he chastising us. He dealing with us. You know, we are His nation, who we get a precepts to. You can go to Psalms. It's at 148. You know, He has not dealt so with any other nation. You go to Isaiah 40, 15 through 17. All right. He looks at these other nations and spit. So you think He gonna allow spit to serve Him? No. We are His servants, man. So this is who He's talking about. All right, verse 2, who bear record of the word of power and of the test, and that right there is discernment. If you can't discern that the Bible is written for the Israelites, don't even open the Bible, man. Take your ass to the Quran or some shit. You know, if you still being contentious and you got a problem with the Bible being for the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, hey, man, go back to your mama titty, man. Okay? Cause that baby and nah, you ain't gonna get it, bro. It's not meant for you. Who bear record of the word of Yahawah and of the testimony of Yahawashi and of all things that he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Key words. Blessed is he that readeth, so you got to read it, but hear the words of this prophecy and keep. So readeth, hear, keep. We got a lot of Israelites that read it, they don't care. They don't hear it and they don't keep it. What you mean I don't hear it? I heard it. No, you didn't hear it. You just heard it. You didn't hear shit. You just heard, you were just listening, but you wasn't comprehending. Okay? You wasn't getting the breakdowns. You were just looking at Isaiah 9. It's just words on a page. That's all it is. Because you couldn't comprehend. That's how it was for us in the world. It was just words on a page, man. We couldn't get it. We wasn't able to discern it yet. We wasn't able to get it through the Spirit. All right? And we didn't have nobody to teach us yet. So we was done. We was in the congregation of the dead. Okay? Until we got woken up. So blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So you got to keep what's written in the book, man. All right? If you're told to things that Yahawashi, it's like you're not taking heed to the orders. You're not caring what the king said. All right? That's ultimately what it comes down to. I'm these excuses. I'm going through something right now mentally, bro. You know, man, fuck that. We all, hey, like, you the only one? You the only one? Man, shoot, I don't care what you going through, man. Cry out. What you going through? Really, you gotta look at it in a spiritual sense. What you're going through is brought upon by Esau, you know, because you're in his kingdom. So Esau Edom is kicking your ass, and that's the reason why you're not crying out. You should cry out because another man is upon you. So cry out to your husband so you can get saved, right? That's where you should seek, because another man is coming in and fucking with you, you know? So you should cry out, man. Deuteronomy 22 talks about that. All right, you're being afflicted. You're being, you know? So cry out upon Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's why those that sigh and that cry in Babylon for all of these abominations, this pain, all this stuff that we going through. Your first reaction should be to go to the scriptures. Okay? Your first reaction should be to go to the scriptures. Before I go to the scriptures. Before I go anywhere. Before I shoot. You know what I'm saying? Verse 4. John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from Yahawashi HaMashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten. Brother got some precepts. I'm going to get them. All right, in a minute. Let me get back to the car. And I got cold on the brother, man. All right. And the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and have made us kings and priests unto power, and his Father, to him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. So us, the saints, the servants. Okay? That's who. So you discern that it's talking about us. It's talking about his people. Who he came for. That's like, yo, and we know Romans 9 and 4, the promises are for Israelites. So that's like, I'm promising you something. This is what these Christians do. You know, the Bible is promised to us, but these Christians take it and they try to go get that promise to somebody else. I promise to get it a boy Shabbat. Let's say I promise to give you $30 tomorrow. Somebody come up and be like, hey, nah, he promised to give Tariq $30 tomorrow. No, I didn't. So you're taking my word and you're twisting it, man. You're twisting the scriptures. That's not right. You're cursed because of that. Okay? Cursed be the one that used the word of Yahawah deceitfully. You can't use the scriptures to appease you and twist it how you want it to do. That's off, man. That's wicked. It goes back to discernment. If you had discernment, you would discern that this book is only for the Israelites. And if you're not an Israelite according to bloodline, then it's not for you. There's no such thing as spiritual Israel. Right? Okay, I'm gonna get these precepts. Brother got 1 Chronicles 16:13. O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. I gotta add that to the arsenal. Right? So automatically, what is that talking about? The seed of Israel. What's a seed? That's coming out of your loins, man. That's coming out of your nuts, man. Well, you say it, you know, boldly, whatever. Alright? Yeah, seed ain't coming from nowhere else. You know? 17. And he hath confirmed the same to Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. Everlasting, forever. That's why in Romans 9:4, it talks about, for the covenants, it all pertaineth to. Right? Acts 8:30. And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandeth thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. Right? So he had to be taught. So you have to be taught. Alright? And you have to listen doing those teachings. You got to take notes. You got to get these understandings. You got to, you know, comprehend. You ask questions. Okay? You know, shoot. Search. You got to stop, like, and I mean, ask yourself questions too. Take time to actually go and study pages. Take time to go and look at the archives. You got GMS archives. You got GMS the vault. You got GMS elders the milk. Okay, you got, shoot, you can go back on brothers' pages, man. Type in stuff. Use that search bar. Discernment is synonymous with being diligent. It's synonymous with being studious. Alright, searching out. You know, investigating. We got to investigate the scriptures. We got to investigate what's being said. You want to have 100%. You want to have a proper understanding of what's really coming out and what you're a part of. You know, at least that's me. You know, I don't want to be a part of nothing and not know what's really going on. Right? You look at these individuals that's Masons, and you know they get caught up in the brotherhood and all that bullshit of it. Right? And they fail to realize that it's demonic. Right? They 33 degree, that's it. I'm a 33rd degree Mason, that's it. It's hiding that. Okay? It's real demonic. Right? It's all the symbolic, the symbols, you know, what they really worship. But if you don't discern, if you're not diligent, then you're just a part of it, and you're just looking foolish. Alright? 2 Corinthians 1:4 in the NLT. He comforts us in all our troubles, so that we comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort Yahawah has given us. Exactly. Wow. And give these talents. Alright, go forth and feed the sheep. That's it. Why are you gonna have this knowledge, bro? You like a library of knowledge. You got all this knowledge. You got the spirit 24/7. But you don't teach. You don't get the books out. You don't break it down. Don't you think Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi gonna destroy that book? He gonna destroy that library? Because you didn't do what you was properly supposed to do. You was a library, but you was never open. So people could never go in and read and understand and learn and grow. We are here to serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? That's what it is. That's at the top of every day. Serving Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We ain't here, hey, You may think you here to go to the NBA, to go to the NFL, right? I call the NBA niggas been assets, and the NFL is niggas for lease. That's what those things are, you know? So you think you here to go and be a high-paid slave? Because that's all you are. You a high-paid entertainment, really at high risk. Okay? NBA, NFL, especially the NFL, come with concussions, come with mental illnesses. Watch that. What's that movie they did? Exposing all these dudes that be committing suicide and all that after the NFL because they got mental problems because after being hit that many times. These are gladiator sports, man. Yeah, you getting paid millions, my guy. Okay, great. Money ain't everything. That's why I like what Crawford said. All right? You know, about I ain't getting back in the ring. Money ain't everything. I don't care. My soul is not for sale. You know? So, but a lot of these niggas out here, they soul is for sale. They ready to sell it for 100 million or less. Some niggas sell they soul for $1 million. You got these YNs out here, they go kill somebody for $1,000. That's what they own. Hey, Jacob does not value themselves. They haven't discerned what we just read. Let's read it one more time. Verse 6. And have made us kings and priests unto power and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. They haven't discerned that you're going to be a king and a priest. You're going to be a judge. You're going to be a ruler. You're supposed to judge the earth. You haven't discerned that. So you lose the value and the worth. People love to talk about self-worth, self-worth. And what? When they talk about it, they talk about self-worth in a worldly state. We talk about having a ruling class mentality, knowing who you are. That's real worth. Knowing what they say, you can't, you know, when you get somewhere, don't forget where you came from. Where did we come from? I was born in South Carolina, but I ain't come from no fucking South Carolina. All right? We go farther back than that. I think some Israelites, some Jakes just think we was fucking born in the South, and that's where we from. Where your people from? Yeah, well, you know, we from down in the, you know, nah. Well, we was brought here. We really from Israel. We really from, that's where we really from. That's where our homeland is. That's what is promised to us. And furthermore, the entire planet, right? So it ain't where you from. Don't get caught up on that. I'm from Cali. I'm from New York. I'm from Georgia. I'm from Texas. Fuck these states. Fuck Babylon, bro. Wherever you from that you be claiming, all this shit gonna be destroyed. All right? So we ain't forget where we from. You know, we are sons of Yahawah. You know, at the end of the day, that's where we are. So that's where we from. What he promised us, we gonna get. So when you discern that and you realize that you bigger than a nigga, you bigger than a Haitian, a Jamaican, a Latino, a Mayan, a Aztec, a Inca, you bigger than a Cuban, you bigger than that, you realize who you really are, what you truly are, and who you're supposed to really worship and serve, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, then that's when you break through that spell that Esau is throwing on you, man. But you got to discern first. You got to discern. To get to the truth, you got to discern the lie. Now, going back to the point I stated earlier in the live, man. A lie lasts for a short time, but the truth lasts forever, right? That's what you got to consider. That's what you got to understand. So whatever they throwing at us, it's eventually going to fall. Esau is being made bare. Let's go to Jeremiah. All right, let's start at 7. And Salakia got hot in here, man. All right. Okay, Jeremiah 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, is wisdom no more in Taman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come for thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So he is ultimately exposed. He's naked. All right, he's out there. We're seeing everything. So that lie that you have to discern through is being given to you. It's being shown. But still, you got our people out here, they don't want to discern through it. They don't want to recognize it. The lie is it's all coming down. He's not your friend, yo. All right, Bob, John, whatever. They're not your friend. They're eating kids. That's common practice. And then once we say this all the time, but it go over everybody's head. They putting what? They've been eating abortion baby fetuses in the McDonald's, all right, and the KFC, all right, and the Chick-fil-A and all these type of things. They've been eating. You've been eating human meat. Okay? That's why, cannibalism makes you. It's not, you don't get wise from cannibalism. Okay? It destroys you, man. So how do you think that affects you if all you eat is McDonald's? All you eat is this type of stuff because you can't discern that this food is not good for you. It's not proper for you. It's not what you were supposed to eat. Yeah, we eating defiled bread amongst the heathen, but you don't got to go eat human meat from McDonald's. Hey, you can go get some real chicken or something, man. Go to a butcher or something. All right? Fast food is past death. That should be, you should discern that and understand that just off rip. All right? So Esau has been made bare. He's been exposed. His diet, the things that he wants to have you eat has been exposed. All his lies has been exposed. So if you can't see it and you still feel the need to support this individual, you still feel the need to stand up for him, you defending the devil and all, I don't get that. That's crazy. But you still feel the need, then it's just not for you. We trying to lead a plantation and you sitting here trying to stop us from leaving. It's a scene on Roots. We gonna lead tonight. No, Massa give us everything here. Massa feed us, clothe us. Nigga, listen to what you said. Massa. It's who you serving. It's not your Adawan. All right, this not your Lord. Really? All right, this is not who you're supposed to be under. This is his kingdom, his rulership. All right, brother got a precept. 2 Corinthians 11:3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is Hamashiach. Hey, the water. And that brings me to the next point of all this social media, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got good discernment, you shouldn't be heavily on the social media. Okay? I was doing a live yesterday, right? And it was this female, she was like, yeah, I was in there just watching them dudes. They slow. I'm like, automatically, I'm like, why the fuck is you in a bugged out ass live? Okay? And it shows me, and we see this constantly with these individuals, bro. They here for the entertainment. All right? Why it's like why would you drink spoiled milk? No, I don't even put that shit. I'm not having it in my refrigerator. So just block and leave it alone. All the bullshit you need to block. But Jakes love to entertain toxicity. They love to entertain drama. They love to entertain stuff that's not beneficial for them. It's not good for them. You want to go down a bad road where you think that your spirit is able to. No, it's not. You know? You're not supposed to fellowship with the unrighteous. Those that don't believe. So if you in that mindset of entertainment, then you already going off. You couldn't discern and you couldn't get past it. That this is not fruitful for you. You sitting around rotten fruits. And rotten fruits brings flies. Okay? And more on that is, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is Hamashiach. The simplicity, right here. This is simple. Walk and talk. Ain't no heavy presentation. We ain't got no lights, theater, cameras, action. None of that is going down. It's just precepts. Alright, breaking down, discussion. That's it. The entertainment, the debates, the drama, all that. If you for that, then you in the world still. You're not where you need to be. You're just not. So that subtlety that Esau brings is that entertainment, is that effect, that trend. Okay? That, what is TikTok? It's like they call it the place to be. Alright? But why would you want to be there? The place to be in the world is what? They say the club, the concerts, all of that. Well, what is there also? Heavy demonic energy, heavy demonic spirits. I don't want to be there. We are set apart to be holy. Keeping it going. Let's get a little bit more. I'm going to wrap it up, man. All right. Let's get one directly on discerning this is 1 Corinthians 12 and 10. And I start at 8. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit. The Spirit gives different types of gifts. To another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gift of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. But all that worketh that one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severely as he will. Right? So some brothers may have discernment as a gift. Right? Now, as it says, the Spirit gives one brother faith. Does that mean another brother don't got faith? All right? You're all going to have faith, but another brother may have a larger measure of faith. So, and you grow and you build faith. It's the same with discernment. You grow and you build that through experience, through going through things, through watching lessons, through paying attention, through observing, through being a wise man, growing in fear of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You're paying attention. One thing you should definitely be doing if you're not doing is picking up food. When you pick up food, you're reading labels. If you walk in the grocery store and you discern this right now, you could discern this easily. The good stuff for you is on the outside aisles. You got the butcher back there. You got the fruits, vegetables over here, fresh produce. And then you got all the bullshit in the middle. Okay? You got the Coca-Cola, the Fanta. You got the food, the processed food aisles, the freezer section. That shit is trash. That's death. All of that is death. So if you discern that the good stuff is on the outside, all right? Even canned goods ain't that good for you. If we want to be honest about it, all right? You if you could, you should rather. Canned goods is a convenience, right? If you can get some string beans and do them, fix them up and cook them, that's better than buying some string beans out of can and warming them up. All right? So, once again, all the bullshit is in the middle. Everything good for you is on the outside. Okay? So that's just a simple discernment. It's discerning the grocery store. And that's how Esau set it up. They want you to go through the aisles. I find myself, I rarely go through the aisles. When I go in the store, I've been drinking Topo Chico. So that's all the way on the left. I go there, I pick up the Topo Chico. I get me some eggs. That's right there. And then I might get some milk. And then I might get some meat. I'm on the outside still. And then I hit the fruits. And then I'm out. I never go in the aisles rarely. It's rare. Unless I'm trying to get some, what I going to ask for? Flour, you know, something like that. Bread, maybe, you know, something like that. But majority wise, bullshit is in those aisles. And that's the point that I'm making. All right. So we discerning that. And going back to the point just made is that I didn't know that 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Okay. That came over time. That came via the spirit. That came from learning. That came from growing. That came from watching videos, listening to brothers. That's what that came from. Right? So discernment, it's like, hey, video games, man, RPGs. You start out level 1, then at the end of the game, you like level 40, level 50. Right? Your discernment level is one of those skills that you built over time. Faith is a skill is you built over time. So if you look at brothers, if a brother is good with them, I don't know, like the graphics and shit. That's a cool picture. Like putting a level, like this brother level of faith right here, level, you know. But that's the thing. You build those levels over time. GTA San Andreas, you used to have to build a muscle. You would build the driving skill, the bike skill, the flying skill. You would build these skills. That's what you're doing. You're building these things, right? Over time through experiences. So you got to go through it. You can't just jump to the top. You ain't got nothing. You ain't built it. All right. Let's keep it going a little bit more in this. 1 Corinthians 12:12. For as the body is one and have many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Hamashiach. Power Rangers. All right. Came to mind where they had to come together to fight the big dragon or whatever. All right. One Power Ranger couldn't beat the big enemy by itself. They had to come together to be the Megazord. Okay? Or what is it? Voltron, you know, all those shows back in the day. What were they teaching you? They were teaching you unity. They was teaching you to come together and in the right spirit. We ain't talking about no damn unity camps or none of that bullshit. But we talking about the elect unifying. The righteous men unifying and coming together. Okay? So they had to come together, and Esau is that big villain would be a representation of Esau Edom. And the Power Rangers will be a representation of us coming together to defeat his ass. You know what I'm saying? So I think even in one of those movies, the White Ranger represented Yahawashi because he died, but he came back or something. Yeah, it slips my memory, but you know, Power Rangers was actually really spiritual, you know, for brothers that watched it back in the day, right? So the body, let's read that one more time. For as the body is one, that Megazord, right, coming together, right? Or Transformers coming together. For as the body is one, and have many members, and all the members of that one body, being many different pieces, are one body. So also is Hamashiach. For by one spirit are we all baptized, coming together unison in that one spirit, baptized in the names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right? Into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles. If you can't discern right now and understand that Jews or Gentiles is talking about Israelites, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one spirit. Who can possess the Holy Spirit? Israelites. That's it. Point blank period. No heathens. Okay? So Jew or Gentile is telling you, by one spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles. And that's why, once again, to you Christians in the back that's taking notes, okay? You don't want to admit it. The thing is understanding this. You got to understand the time frame. You got to understand the history. You got to read 1st Maccabees, 2nd Maccabees to know that our people were scattered. Even, you can go back to the Babylonian captivity, our people were scattered. Everybody didn't come back, okay? The Persian captivity, our people were scattered, okay? You know, we came back under the Persian captivity, but you think everybody came back? You got Israelites that might have settled down in different places and was still there. Okay? Look at us now. We scattered. We all over. Shoot, I know brothers. When I was in Japan, I know brothers that said I ain't never leaving Japan. They never left. They still there. They done got them a Ammonite wife, and they chilling. You know, they chilling. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame them at all. But hey, bro, I don't see nothing here. What's here? I wouldn't have came back either. All right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got Israelites that you got Israelites that went to Ireland, Scotland, the UK. It's King James's family, you know, things of that nature. Every Israelite didn't go to Africa. Yeah, the bulk of the Southern Kingdom went to Africa, you know, but you had Israelites that was in various parts, right, as well. So we understand through all our captivities, we were getting scattered, you know. So that would explain the Gentiles. Over time, we would lose certain things, not know this, not know that. So when Paul went forth as an apostle of the Gentiles, he was trying to tell Israelites that were born Romans, Corinthians, Philippians, right? Galatians, right? These other nations, they were born in these lands. He was trying to explain to them, y'all Israelites, man, right? Via your blood and the spirit, we're understanding through the spirit, we can recognize the things that y'all do, right? Y'all just got to be told. Y'all just got to be woke up. Just how today born Americans, right, African American or whatever, Haitians, Jamaicans, etc., but we are Israelites. The spirit is expressing, is echoing, is showing. Okay. Let me see what the brother got. This chapter in the GNT is fire. I ain't got no signal on this phone. This one right here. So, you know, if you want to throw it up, but I'll check it out later on. What the well? Nah, you get up out of here. Mackenzie Wayne from Philly. Just listen, man. Okay. This ain't no talk show. But hey, let's get. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I'm gonna wrap it up, man. All right, we past that, almost at that hour mark. 14. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? You don't get envious of another member of the body. Okay? You was born a foot, but you want to be a hand. You was born a lung, but you want to be the heart. No. You fit into your role. Going back to those gifts that you were given. You fit. His brother may be extremely good in the history. That's his gift. His brother may be extremely good in the herbs. That's his gift. You be happy about the gift that you was given. Right? And furthermore, you be grateful, man. You should have learned that shit in the world doing dumbass Christmas. You sitting here looking at your siblings' gifts. Envious of their gift. Oh, you wanted this, you wanted that. No, that's their gift. That's what they got. If you want that shit, you should have asked for it. Right? Hey, Shalawam, Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Okay? So it's down to the fact of you don't be envious of another brother. You can't be envious of the body. Because if the body is fighting one another, then the body's not going to stand. Look at Esau. You got all these Edomites fighting one another. All right? Denmark, they own Greenland, and they want to fight the U.S. Russians, they Edomites, and they want to fight America. And the NATO. So these are all Edomite nations, okay? And they're all about to fight each other. A nation divided. They're divided. A house divided. They can't stand. Look at it as that way, but that they are a body. That nation is one body. You know? So that body is about to be broken apart. As this kingdom that we're about to walk into you know, Yahawah would be of that number, is what? That stone that's coming to destroy the this wicked ass kingdom, the bottom of the statue. You know? And on 5%. I didn't even know I was that low. But you know, that's pretty much it, man. We're gonna wrap it up right there. Let me put it on the charger. Alright, I'm gonna get a little bit more in this and we're gonna wrap it up. Okay. Salakia. Who's at verse 15? If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole body were hearing, where were the smelling? But now hath power set the members, every one of them in the body, as it hath pleased him. And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members yet, but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, and furthermore on that, every single brother is important, man. Okay? Don't ever look at whatever, you know, you got to read. You're a reader. Be the best reader you can be. Right? You got to hold a sign. Be the best sign holder. You know what I'm saying? It's having no preeminence. Yahawashi has the preeminence. Right? You get in where you fit in. You know, and that's just it. A puzzle piece. You just got to pray that you a part of the puzzle. You may not even be a part of the puzzle. You over here complaining about your piece in the puzzle, and you may not even be in the puzzle. That right there is crazy. Right? Hey, and that's why you gotta have fear. Okay? Nay, verse 22, nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. Hey, that's every piece is important. Every piece of that puzzle is important to put that puzzle together. You got 144,000 pieces. Okay? And then even more on that, you got the 1/3. Alright, so that's in the millions of pieces. You know what I'm saying? So one piece, you ever put a puzzle together? I used to put puzzles together as a kid. You ever put a puzzle together and you can't find that one piece? It's just ugly the rest of the day. Like, damn, like I can't live. I need where that piece at? Where's that shit at? So that's what we out here like, yo, where they elect at? Where they seal them? Hey, brothers gotta get sealed, man. We can get up out of here so the puzzle can be finished. And it's gonna look glorious. As it says in Revelations 21, like a bride adorned for her husband. You know? Finishing it up. 23, and those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. Furthermore, you treat every brother like you dealing with Yahawashi. You know, you gotta ask yourself, are you doing that? You don't have no respect to persons, man. All right. Treat every brother like you're dealing with Yahawashi, man. Because you are. What did Yahawashi say? When I was in prison, you visited me. I was hungry and you fed me. I was cold and you clothed me, etc., loosely quoting. Right? So he was like, you dealt with these little ones, you was dealing with me. That these are representations. So I was there. For our comely parts have no need, but power have tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked, that there should be no scarcism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. All right. I'm gonna go down to 26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. That right there should put you in the mindset of where you got these damn jakes. Like you balling, So you think you good, but your nation starving. How are you good when your people starving? We not good. It's a sad sight to see our people in this low level mindset, man. Okay, so we can't be happy, you know. We in a you spirit of myrrh, but our people out here, the poster child of wickedness. Nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I don't give a fuck about no 2/3, but also they Israelites as well. So I don't want to see our brothers in no low ass, dumb, ignorant mindset. So until we up, man, we ready for our people to get up out of here, man. Every single Israelite, bro. Those is our people. We ready for Israel to be that nation again, at the top. You know? Finishing it up. 27. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach, and members in particular. And in power have set some in the church, first apostles, secondly prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. Are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles, have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret, but covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way. All don't do that. Some brothers, or every brother is not a prophet. You know, some brothers are supposed to be alm givers. Some brothers are supposed to good at making garments, right? Things of that nature, herbs. You know, everybody got their own gift. Everybody got their own lot. But going back to it, summarizing, the entire body is important. Okay, even these 2/3 got to play their position. You know, they got to play their position. They set up in that position for a reason. When what can you learn from a 2/3? You can learn what not to be. Right? You can learn not to be in that reprobate mind, and furthermore to fear even more, because that could be you. You could be out here calling on Yeshua, Yahweh, Yahuwah. You could be out here saying that the MOTB is sanctions and an embargo. You could be out here doing that. Whoever's doing that, you could be out here. You could be out here saying that. Hey man, but with that saying, man, giving all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great mills. Shalawam to the Lord of Yasharahla, and the Bible balls. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. The straight is today. Hey, if you can't see the light, you're living in darkness.